In this video, I want to share with you why focusing so much on technique could be the #1 problem why your forehand is breaking down in matches. So you're probably asking yourself, how is learning technique supposed to make my forehand worse when you're telling me that I should be learning more technique? Well, that's really not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is focusing on technique when you're trying to play a match will tear down your forehand or break it down. So how are we supposed to fix stuff when we're in a match? That's the question you should be asking. And the reason why this is so important is because most of the time when I find players going out of the match and something doesn't happen that they want, the result, they try to fix the technique in the match and it actually gets worse. I mean, think about it. Have you ever been in a match and your forehand's breaking down, you're thinking, I gotta get my racket back sooner, or I gotta make sure I brush a little bit more, and actually it gets worse. So what's going on here? Well, what's going on is that you're diverting a lot of your mental processes that are unconscious from you practicing to focusing on this one thing, and all the other things around it break down. So how do we get around that? Well, it's a simple, easy trick you can use. First of all, to communicate with your mind, instead of telling it exactly what to do, it knows, it's practiced, it's done this before. The way you want to do is focus on telling your mind the result, and how you do that is through visualizing the result you want. So for instance, if I'm in a match and my forehand's breaking down, I'm not gonna go, I need to come up on the ball more. What I'm gonna do is say, you know, the result I want is to have a heavy topspin ball, maybe goes 5 feet or so above the net and hits a certain depth in the court. And I'm gonna focus on getting that result and allow my body to do what it naturally knows from practice to do that. Instead of, what happens is we miss the ball and we go, oh God, we start to judge ourselves. We try to take control of this and then we try to fix the stroke right here. We don't focus on the result we want, we focus on the technical things that we need to do. Okay, I need to come up on the ball. And when we do that, a couple things happen. First of all, that unconscious repetition we've gone through by practicing breaks down. Second of all, because it breaks down, we're not focusing on the ball. And then, because we're not focusing on the ball, the result gets a lot worse. By focusing on the result we want, we still focus on the ball and we let our unconscious minds take care of what we've learned through practice. Now, I truly believe in this. I think this is one of my favorite topics of how the mental side of tennis is probably, I think, the most important side. I think technique is about 10% of it, or I give it a little bit more, but having the mental side taken care of how you can correct your strokes and how you approach the game is way more important. I think this because if you go on a match and you get tight or you're having trouble with something and it starts to break down, it breaks down here first before it breaks down in the technique. And usually people don't understand that. So make sure when you're going out and you want to fix something in a match situation, you focus on the result you want, not the technical things that are going on. If you focus on the technical things, it'll probably backfire on you. Now, sometimes you can focus on small technical things, of course, like taking the racket back. But when you start going deeper than that, then you're starting to interrupt that unconscious process. What I mean by unconscious is the things you can do already without thinking about it, like tying your shoes. You don't think about tying your shoes. One more thought. Think about this on ending. When you've played your best tennis, or your best tennis point or best tennis match, what were you thinking about? More than likely, I've asked hundreds of people this, and they say nothing. You know, I was focusing on the ball, and you know, or you run and hit this amazing forehand down the line, and you say, what were you thinking about? Nothing, you know? Then when you ask people, what were you thinking about when you were playing really bad out there? Oh, I was thinking this, I was thinking, you know, my take back's wrong, I was thinking, you know, what if I miss this shot? All these things are running through their heads. When you play your best, usually you're focused on a singular thing, the ball. And what I call it is clearing the closet. And when I say that, it's because a lot of times our closets are cluttered with so many things, meaning the take back, the ball coming, moving our feet. Clearing the closet to me means that you're just gonna focus on one thing, which is the ball, and the result you want. And we're gonna focus on the result by visualizing it, not getting caught up in the mechanics of it. When you do this, this is a great way to fix problems, whether your forehand be breaking down in a match. That's the best way to communicate to yourself, in your mind, to get the result you want. Is to focus on the result and not the mechanics of it. So make sure you go out and try this and let me know how it works. I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised. This is Kevin Garlington at forehanddomination.com. Make sure you leave me a comment or a question about any of this because, like I said, this is my favorite topic and I love having discussions on my channel. So go out and play tough.